go racing in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin at Road America for round 5 of Monday Night Lightning. Jeremy Brio starting on the front row with David Hawk to his outside. Cody Pennell starting in third. Waiting for the green flag for 31 laps of action. Green flag is out and we're racing at Road America. Out of the first 3 corners, down moraine sweep, headed into 4 and 5. You can see plumes of smoke being thrown up into the air. Stephen Down in the 54 car, trying to get to the inside of Nick Pressey in that 94. There's Donald Ray from the great state of Arkansas now coming up the hill under Corvette Bridge in the Corona Ford. Dustin Painter going around in contact with the 24 of Trey Kirk. Big wreck out of turn number 5. Both cars crushed up. And we still race now. Jeremy Brio out of 5, headed through Carousel now. And it looks like caution number 1 is out on the racetrack after 2 cars go off in turn number 5. So we're going to race this one back. And first lap of 31, first yellow flag. Hopefully this is not the trend. Bama Trama and Yotes King in the chat saying hello. Glad to have you here, Mama Vols. Glad to have you here, Yotes. You guys haven't missed a thing, and we're going to get started from 0, basically, with the caution coming out on lap number 1. Trey Kirk in the 24, Dustin Painter in the 49 coming together. Tom Sears in the 19, the Season 1 Thursday Night Thunder champion. Sitting in the 4th position right now, driving that red TRD Toyota. Cody Pennell in the 28, sitting 3rd. There's David Hawk now coming up the hill. He's 2nd. Jeremy Brio will cross the line, and he will collect the yellow flag. Safety car will come out. Let's take a look at the race facts here. More Than a Cape is here as well. Cape, glad to have you all here. Thank you so much for showing up for tonight's 5th round of Monday Night Lightning. Let's bring up the race facts. The 4-mile road course in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Been here since the mid-50s. And that front straight, quite literally the longest straight in NASCAR, headed through what is now turn 3. And the long straight called Moraine Sweep. Down this long moraine.
I wasn't really planning on being good at this track. Not much of a road course person. I was just gonna ride around. Now I completely forgot about that corner, so that didn't help me none. I gotta use fast repair and hopefully pick off spots as we go.
Well, only one thing to do it, but only one thing to it, but to do it. Trey Kirk. It is a difficult track altogether. However, they do say patience is the name of the game. Is that going to be your strategy from here on out?
Yeah, that was my strategy at the beginning, but it seems like it didn't work out too good for me, so probably just take it slow and ride it out.
Now, one more thing, Trey Kirk. The fans are dying to know, what is your favorite gas station beverage?
Probably Mr. Pibb or Dr. Pepper.
Mr. Pibb or Dr. Pepper. He likes the classic sodas. He likes the sodas that are kind of off to one side. That's what makes you special, Trey Kirk. Love the paint scheme as always, my friend. Best of luck.
Appreciate it.
Not a good start for the Rainbow Warrior in the number 24 DuPont Chevrolet, but you heard him say he'll use his fast repair and he'll get that car fixed and ready to go. Mama Vols, Cape in here, Bama Trama, Yotes King, everybody watching along. Fans at home are going to take this opportunity to take a 60-second break to keep the pre-rolls off. We'll go ad-free for the next 21 minutes, and then we'll be back with the restart of round 4. 5 of Monday Night Lightning. Fans at home, if you can still hear this, you are a subscriber to Rick James TV. Thank you so very, very much for being a subscriber. We cannot do these shows without you. Quite literally, we can't do these shows without you. Your subscription helps us go week after week. And here we are once again celebrating these cars at Road America. Looks like no one's going to take advantage of pit road this time by. With that, we're going to take a small break ourselves. We'll be back in 30 seconds. We'll see if we can get this race started properly. Don't go anywhere. Back from virtual Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, watching Jeremy Brio followed by David Hawk in that 21. Interesting paint scheme that Hawk is rocking. Fans of the 90s, even the late 80s, would recognize that number 21 anywhere. Almost an homage to Ricky Rudd when he ran the red numbers on the side of the Texaco Haviland Ford. David Hawk, now from the Nashville area, a big fan of the Rooster. You can see it in most of his paint schemes week in and week out, but this one, for my money, has to be one of my personal favorites that I've ever seen. Davey Run. Gorgeous, gorgeous looking scheme there, and a little bit of a different font to the number there, but the message is all the same. Great job by David Hawk in that 21 car. Love to see it. More Than a Cape in the chat saying Dr. Pepper Cherry, talking about his favorite gas station beverage. Lights are still on the pace car. So it looks like we may get one more lap, not sure. Waiting for those lights to turn off. Fans, if you've never gone to Road America or been there, Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, a beautiful area of the country, not only for its scenery, but of course, the legendary racetrack hosting over I believe it's over 300 racing events in a calendar year, whether it be driving schools to even the NASCAR Cup Series here recently. They were just here a couple of days ago. One of the legendary race courses, not just in North American racing, but truly all over the world. Road America, one of those greats. Al Simkowski in the number 99 AutoNation Ford Mustang, reminiscent of Elio Castro Neves in his 2021 Indianapolis 500 winning paint scheme. Alex been rocking that one week after week. Also a big fan of Greg Moore. 99 his favorite number. You'll often see him run that number 99 on a couple of John Deere paint schemes and a couple of other Roush paint schemes. Big fan there. There's Trey Kirk in the number 24. You can see he's got that car all fixed up, ready to go. Let's have a word with David Hawk in that 21 car. See where he got the inspiration for this lovely livery he's running tonight. David Hawk, Rick James in the booth. You got me, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Davey, we were just talking about that number 21 paint scheme as the lights turn off on the pace car headed into one. Obviously, you're a big fan of the Rooster Rud. There's no denying that. But for my money, this has to be one of my favorite Monday Night Lightning paint schemes with the 24 of Trey Kirk. Now, is this something you painted yourself, Dave?
No, sir. Found on trade paints.
Gotta love trading paints and all those wonderful paint schemes, man. Now, Road America, would you say this is one of your strong suits here tonight? Do you expect to be successful?
Most road courses pretty competitive at. Jeremy's going to be quick here. Cody's quick. I got Lurkin and Alex there too, or Tom. But we'll be up here battling. I ain't going to push it too hard here early. If I get some people breathing down my neck, I'll probably let them go here. Trying to conserve this thing for the long run. Need to get a win in this series sooner or later.
Patience is going to have to be the name of the game, especially at a track like this today, Mr. Hawk. Who is, besides Jeremy Brio, because we know Brio's going for his 4th win in 5 rounds this season, who's going to be your toughest competition while you drive that 21?
I'm going to have to say Cody and Tom are a dead even for me. I practiced with Tom earlier in the week. He was really racy, and then Cody put in a lot of time to get this thing down, and he's a pretty talented driver, so I expect him to be more competitive and racy towards the end of the race.
One more question before we go, Dave. Probably the most important question we're going to ask you all
Here we go.
day, my friend. What is your favorite gas station beverage?
Ooh, have to be watermelon Red Bull.
Watermelon Red. You see, I was a big fan of the it was the cranberry Red Bull, but then they pulled it for the season and they turned it into a watermelon flavor, and I've never been more disappointed because I just loved that cranberry Red Bull. If you're listening, bring back cranberry Red Bull, please. Watermelon's not bad.
Alrighty, man.
Take it easy, Davey. We'll let me get you back to your respective chat here. Enjoy the rest of the race.
Thank you, sir. Nice talking to you.
Down Kettle Bottoms, headed into Canada Corner. We're about to complete the 4th lap of competition, and every last lap in this race being run under caution so far after a lap 1 crash. So this will be the de facto start of this race with David Hawk and Jeremy Brio side by side coming up into turn number 1 as they were. 74 car with 3 wins this season and leading those points, the 21 of David Hawk, sitting tied for 3rd in points. A cool 55 markers behind Brio, getting ready to climb up the hill and finally throw the switch again on these cars. There's the green flag, accelerating up the hill. Let's go racing. Out of turn number 3, David Hawk behind the 74 of Jeremy Brio, now headed down under Sargento Bridge. The 21 getting a good run, headed into 4 and 5. Hawk to the inside. Does he have the room to make it happen? No. One car going around at the back that looks like the 20 of John Honeybrink, and it is Honeybrink by himself crashing into turn 5. Struggling to get his Toyota Camry going. With a crunched up back end, Honeybrink running dead last now. Brio pulling away from Hawk. Pinnell sitting in 3rd. Simkowski 4th. Nick Pressey running in the 5th position now. Down Hurry Downs into turn 8 that leads into Carousel. Plumes of smoke coming up from the 19 of Tom Sears. He's gone down 2 spots since the start of this race. but Stephen Downton in the number 54 Mopar Ford that looks like a Dodge Charger, up 6 spots since the throw of the green flag. He's into 7th now. And on the other end of the spectrum, Dustin Painter sitting 8th with Donald Ray right up his backside. Ray gets a good exit out of Kink and out of the inside of Painter, and he'll easily have the move headed into Canada. There's the 20 of John Honeybrink sitting in 12th, now back to the front of this race. The 74 and the 21 nose to tail, the closest battle so far, separated by just half a second. Now Cody Pennell with an excellent exit out of turn 14. This is going to be the most important exit for these drivers because they're going to need to maximize that straightaway speed. Keep your eye on the 74 of Brio. He's going to need to maximize that speed coming out of 3. Down into the hill. Hawk follows him down in car 21, trying to get just a bit closer. Out of 3, down Sargento. Here comes Cody Pennell in the 28. Terrible exit for car 28, and you can see the 21 and 74 pulling away now. John Honeybrink coming down pit lane to get those issues repaired after that crash on lap number 5. The leader, Brio, running it incredibly wide, as does Pennell. Simkowski presses okay. Now here's Donald Ray trying to get down into the corner. Downton runs it incredibly wide, and that's Tom Sears up ahead in the 19 car, who's just had an episode. Up the hill into Corvette Bridge. The 19 of Sears now down into 7th spot. Only Dustin Painter has lost more positions since the start of this race, running 9th. Trey Kirk closing the gap, sitting in 11th right now, chasing down Dan Maddox to the tune of half a second a lap. Kirk working on the number 10 Mountain Dew Chevrolet. David Hawk losing the 3rd position, issue with that 21 car. Looks like David Hawk went off the track momentarily. There's the 21. Just going off track, having a bit of an episode. And now sitting in that 5th position, Jeremy Brio leading this race with Cody Pennell behind him. Tom Sears able to get around Donald Ray, 4th position. Here's the challenge up the hill for Brio. Six laps complete, marking 25 laps to go. Brio going for his 4th win in 5 starts, unprecedented. We've seen in Monday Night Lightning. Brio leading the points right now. Donald Ray right behind him. Ray finding himself with 127 points. 2nd in the standings. He is 53 points off the mark of Brio. That just says everything. Daniel Maddox going off the track here in that 10 car, struggling to get it going. There's Maddox in the 10. Heavy damage to the front of that Mountain Dew Chevrolet, and he's going to need a lot of work to make it back. But at the front of this race, Jeremy Brio having a huge episode as he goes off track here. Here's the leader, the 74. You can just see those rotors glowing, gets way too hot into the corner. There's Brio in the 74 car, well off pace. There's that. Brio now following David Hawk, sitting in the 5th position. Donald Ray having an episode as well in that 14. It was Don Ray and Dan Maddox that had a wreck. Let's flash back to this one here. There's the 14 of Donald Ray, the 24 of Trey Kirk. There's the 10 of Dan Maddox. Let's run this one back and see what exactly happened between these three cars right here. This is well into the accident. It looks like the 14 just came in way too hot. The 54 of Stephen Downton had crashed before that, you see. Watch the 14 on the inside coming in way too hot on the 19 of Tom Sears. Bam, right into the tire wall, face first. Now let's take a look at the 24 of Trey Kirk, who's about to have a moment. Oh, look at this. 3 incidents unrelated. The 24 of Trey Kirk, the 10 of Dan Maddox, all just having separate issues. There's Maddox, there's Kirk, all into that wall. And so many drivers having trouble, even the leader, nobody immune from drama at Road America, and that puts Cody Pennell up at the front of this race. New leader, he's got a 1-second lead over Alex Simkowski in the 2nd position. Nick Pressey sits in the 3rd position. Each of these drivers smoothly running into the top 3, and that's 3 Fords sitting on those podium positions. Jeremy Brio in his Chevrolet in 4th. David Hawk rounding out the top 5 in his Ford Mustang. Tom Sears, the highest ranked Toyota, currently running 6th. Trey Kirk coming down pit road getting repairs one more time, but as you've heard, the driver has already used his 1 fast repair. Kirk recently just coming in again here on lap 6. Pennell now pulling away with this lead, but the gap back to Simkowski hovering around the 1-second mark. There's Pressey going a bit wide out of turn number 8, headed into Carousel. Brio has his scent, and he's chasing him now for position. There's Brio in car 74 pulling away from David Hawk, who's 1.7 seconds behind him as they come out of Carousel, around Bend, Kink, and down the Kettle Bottoms straight, headed to Canada Corner. Pressey in the number 94 car, headed into Canada Corner. Will he be able to maintain control? Does so beautifully with so many cars having so much trouble around this racetrack. The only driver who seems immune to these mistakes so far as Stephen Downton goes off track again. The 54 Mopar Ford having big problems so far. Still up 5 spots since the start of the green flag, but a couple of issues. Recently going off track here twice. Caution is out on the racetrack once again as Cody Pennell leading this race here with 23 laps to go. See if we can get a hold of race control and find out why the caution came out that time around. But it looks like they may race this one back to the line. Donald Ray getting a pass on Stephen Downton, but Ray overcooks it, headed into Canada, and he'll be stuck back in 9th. Stephen Downton running away with that 8th position. Al Simkowski still chasing down Pennell. They cross the line before the yellow flag came out, so they will race this back to the line. Pennell leading by 3 seconds. Nick Pressey is in 3rd with Jeremy Brio right up his trumpet. He can smell the fumes. Pressey cooking it way too hard. Brio with the same terrible entrance into 5. Now climbing up the hill, Brio trying to take 3rd away from Pressey. He'll have a great opportunity after they leave Carousel. Pressey going off track again, kicking it way too hard. Pressey's gone into the wall, and it's cost him dearly. There's Nick Pressey struggling to get his race car back into gear, handing positions to David Hawk. Tom Sears now goes by in the number 19, and right before they all bunch themselves, Pressey losing precious track position. Cody Pennell now leading to the tune of 4.7 seconds. Trey Kirk with issues falling off the racetrack once again. Not a good start at all for the number 24 DuPont Chevrolet. Big issues. Pinnell out of the fourth corner as Donald Ray gets around Stephen Downton again, but Ray having issues of his own. Overcooks it one more time. That's the second time in less than 2 laps that Donald Ray goes off the racetrack. Big problems for the driver of the Corona Extra Ford. Cody Pinnell captures the yellow flag. He will collect the Ford Mustang safety car, and we are under caution for the second time today with 22 laps remaining. Fans at home, we are just about to lose our ad-free run here, so we'll have a quick word with Cody Pinnell, then take a 60-second break to go ad-free once again. Let's have a word with the leader of this race so far. Now bunched back up with the rest of his peers. Cody Pinnell, Rick James in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, bud.
Cody, these caution laps give you lots of time to reflect, lots of time to think about your race, and a lot of mistakes in the top 5, my friend. That sees you leading so far. Is this that difficult of a racetrack where multiple drivers are making mistakes all race long?
Yeah, I mean, if you go just, a tenth too far in your braking zones, you'll miss the corner. You'll lock the tires up, slide into the sand, and getting out of there is not easy. It's going to cost you at least 4 or 5 seconds. So yeah, it's a pretty difficult racetrack. It's just mostly about mental toughness and keeping focused on hitting your marks.
They said earlier today that the fuel range lasts about 12 laps. Do the tires go that far? And if so, when is your cutoff to give up track position in lieu of tires?
I think the tires are pretty good here. As long as I know we're probably putting a lot of heat in the front tires with the brakes, so that'll play its factor. But I think as far as the longevity of them, we'll be pretty good to go to the end, that last stage, maybe even on the same set of tires. So we'll see how that plays into it.
And that is the end of stage number 1. I'm thinking to myself, why has the caution come out? But that was the end of stage number 1, wasn't it? So you've got our stage 1 win. And then we will, the stage break will come out here at the end of lap 16. So we'll have that as well. Who's your toughest opponent out there? You've got Simkowski behind you. Brio is back for vengeance after he made that mistake. Who do you have to watch out for the most?
Jeremy put down a crazy good qualifying lap, so I'm definitely thinking he's the top guy right now to win it. But Stitch is also, he's really good at road courses, so both these guys are definitely going to put up a good fight here.
You're going for your second win this season, Brio. Is it going to be tonight?
I hope so. I hope I can put it together.
I just called you Brio. You're not Brio. You're Pinnell. That's my mistake.
You're
but
good, man.
The most important question of the evening that anybody's going to ask you, Cody, what is your favorite gas station beverage?
Oh, man, I got to go with the old QT Rooster Booster.
What is a QT Rooster Booster?
Quick Trip. They're pretty local here to the southeast, so you might have to look that one up.
No, I know about Quick Trip. I just didn't know people called it a QT Rooster Booster. That's genuinely the coolest thing I've ever heard.
Yes, sir. It's a good one.
All right, buddy. Hopefully you get yourself some of that QT celebratory drink at the end. Enjoy the rest of the evening, Cody.
All right. Appreciate it, Rick.
Drivers coming down pit road to get tires and fuel. That gives us time to take a 60-second break to keep those pre-rolls off. Fans, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a minute to kick off stage number 2. Lights go out on the pace car. Al Simkowski leading us to the start of stage number 2. He's got Cody Pennell right behind him. Looks like they're going to double up this. Well, the lights are out, but they're not doubling up. Coming down Kettle Bottoms. Now they're doubling up 2 by 2, 6 rows deep, headed into Canada corner. The number 99 of Al Simkowski. The number 99 of Al Simkowski ahead of the 28 of Cody Pennell around Canada corner. The AutoNation Ford leading his first laps this afternoon, coming to 20 laps to go at Road America. There's Cody Pennell in second. Cody going for his second win this season. Cody tied for third in points. He finds himself 55 markers off of the points leader, Jeremy Brio, restarting third. Pace car dives down, getting ready to throw the green flag and start stage number 2. Pennell and Simkowski on the front row. 2 Fords sharing the front. Green flag is out and stage 2 is underway. Saw Jeremy Brio able to get around Al Simkowski. One car's gone off there. Let's take a look at that pass for the lead one more time. Jeremy Brio just sending it to the outside of the 99, headed into the corner. Donald Ray going off the track. We'll catch up with that in a second. There's the pass for the lead, and then Pennell going right to the inside of Simkowski as well, getting second place. Back to live pictures. Brio leading Pennell out of Carousel. 3/10 now, 4/10 of a second. The gap as they head through Kink and down Kettle Bottoms. David Hawk now following Al Simkowski, chasing him down for the third position. Stephen Downey moves up 5 spots since the the drop of the green flag. He was up 8 spots since the drop of the green flag, now into the 5th position. Locking it up, headed into Canada corner. He runs it extremely wide. Has to check up and murders his exit strategy through Thunder Valley and the Bill Mitchell Bend, losing big amounts of time there. And 4.5 seconds behind, Dustin Painter in the 49 watches Stephen Downton just pull away out of that top 5 battle. Nick Cressy behind him in the heavily damaged 94. Trey Kirk, who finds himself a lap down mixed with all of these cars here. And then John Honeybrink, unfortunately, finding himself 3 laps down for the time being, now exiting turn number 3. Into that 4th corner now, Brio, Pinnell, Simkowski, 74, 28, 99, Chevy, Ford, your top 4 drivers. And then you have the 54 of Al Simkowski, quite a unique livery for this 54 car. If you take a close look, it looks like a Dodge Charger on the front, because it very well is. He has the front, he has the headlights of the Dodge Charger on the front with the Mopar livery all over this race car. Still the Mustang taillights, but a cool looking project nonetheless. Simkowski with his Mopar Mustang, if you will, riding in that 5th position. Brooklyn's Nick Cressy, 7 seconds off the top 5 in the number 94 Estates Ford, sitting 6th right now, having just recently overtaken North Carolina's Dustin Painter in the 7th position. Dustin will feature tomorrow night right here on this channel, racing the OG Modifieds from Martinsville Speedway. That'll come tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Arkansas' very own Donald Ray sitting in the 8th position. Tom Sears from Southern Mass in the 9th spot. He's lost the most since we started this race. He's down 5 incredible spots since the drop of that green flag. And just to show the gap, there's Thomas Sears coming through Hurry Downs. He's about to enter Carousel. There's that big corner at the top of the track map there. He's about to enter through Carousel. Here's Jeremy Brio, who's now up through Bill Mitchell Bend. He's about to cross that red arrow on the bottom of the track map to start another lap. There's Tom Sears, who's headed down that very long straight into Canada corner. It's quite the gap between these drivers here. Back to Brio, leading this one with 18 laps to go, but just a few laps left in stage number 1. Simkowski's gone off big time. Simkowski misses the mark, plows the front of that number 99 AutoNation Ford into the barrier, and 1 car mistake there. Let's run this one back and see just exactly how Al played this one. There's Simkowski. You can see he's already locking up, headed into 1, just overcooked it heavily. Cody Pinnell's going to get right around him here. There you can see Simkowski going off track. Pinnell easily cruising. David Hawk also going to get around him. And Simkowski going to come, Stephen Downton also going to get around Simkowski. And Al Simkowski falling down to the 8th position now in the number 99 AutoNation Ford. He's got big work to do at the end of stage 2. Brio still leading and going for his 4th win in 5 starts. John Honeybrink with another episode. There is the smashed up number 20 Camry, and it goes from bad to worse for Honeybrink. He comes into this race 8th in points. With an average finish of 9th, he finds himself 67 points behind the points leader, Jeremy Brio, currently leading this race. Honeybrink well away from that average finish of 9th. He finds himself in 12th right now. 4 laps down, excuse me. I was going to say 3 laps down, but he just took another lap off with that crash. There's Brio headed into Canada, keeping his distance from Cody Pinnell as Stephen Downton goes off the racetrack, crashing down the narrow Kettle Bottoms, and he's sounding very sour, charging towards Canada corner. Here comes Donald Ray behind him. Ray trying to outbrake him, headed into Canada. Smoke coming from the left front, but Ray enters controlled. Calm, cool, collected. Donald Ray now breaks the top 5 threshold for the first time today. Downton, who's still up 7 positions since the drop of the green flag. Now look at Al Simkowski. Huge wreck coming down the front straight there into turn number 1. Simkowski now barreling up the hill. Here comes Dustin Painter trying to make the move on Stephen Downton. Everybody piling into the first corner. Will they all make it safe and sound? Painter locking it up into 1. Simkowski makes it through. Downton makes it through. All of these drivers with a little bit of trouble. Now Simkowski on the offensive as Painter locks the tire up, loses momentum, and Al Simkowski will chase him down through the long Sargento straight. Moraine sweep up ahead, and then into 4 and 5. Riding with the 99. Trey Kirk goes off track coming out of turn number 5. A solo crash for the driver of the number 24 DuPont Chevrolet. He now falls to the 11th position. He finds himself 1 lap down. The only car right now eligible to receive that lucky dog when the caution comes out, so Kirk will need to step it up. At the front, however, the battle for the lead getting closer. Cody Pennell closing the gap up to Jeremy Brio for this lead. Brio goes wide out of Canada. Donald Ray going off track briefly in that 5th position. He's got Dustin Painter chasing him from 6th. Out of the final corner, Jeremy Brio up the hill. Cody Pennell well behind him. David Hawk with a great run up the hill, chasing Cody Pennell in the 28. Jeremy Brio will lead another lap in the 74. 16 laps to go in this race, and I believe this is the last lap before the stage 2 intermission. Brio going awfully fast into 1. There's Pennell. There's Hawk. They all follow him in diligently. Hawk pressing Pennell now, trying to get the advantage into 3. He'll have to make the move through Moraine. Sweet. Brio's crashed. Brio's gone around out of 1. That's the race leader who's cooked it. What happened with Brio? Overcooking it, just giving it way too much gas out of 3. Here's Brio again. You can see he's got a terrible entrance, just gives it way too much life out of the rear tires. The 28 of Pennell plows him, and the 74 of Brio falling to 3rd. Still green. Brio goes off the track. David Hawk, new leader, as Cody Pennell slams him with the front of this car, and a heavily damaged Cody Pennell limping his car back around this incredibly long 4-mile course at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Hawk tearing away with this lead, but it will be all for naught as the stage break comes in the next lap. Cody Pennell holding on to 2nd. Brio finds himself 13 seconds ahead of Nick Pressey. Pressey finding himself 20 seconds back to the leader. 13 seconds between Nick Pressey in 4th, Jeremy Brio in 3rd. Let's illustrate that on the track. There's the eye in the sky showing where Pressey is going through carousel. 13 seconds ahead, Jeremy Brio has now left kink and is headed down the straight into Canada. 21, 28, 74, your top 3 coming to the end of stage number 2. Drivers struggling to keep their race cars in one straight line. Donald Ray falling back to the 7th position here behind Dustin Painter. Al Simkowski cracking the top 5. Here he is headed into Canada corner. Out of the final corner, however, David Hawk climbs up the hill. He will lead this lap, chasing down the 10 of Dan Maddox. And there is the end of stage number 2 with 15 laps to go. So David Hawk winning the second stage. Cody Pennell coming up behind him. Here's a battle for the 5th spot out of the final corner. Donald Ray sending it in a bit too deep. You can see it cost him. And Dustin Painter will calmly take 5th. There's Stephen Downton leading Tom Sears by some gap. Al Simkowski back to the 9th spot. Let's see what happened with Al Simkowski. Let's go back. Here's his pass. There's Donald Ray and Dustin Painter exchanging positions. The stage will end. Then Al Simkowski's going to have his incident here. Looks like he went off track there almost. Let's see what happened with the 99. Let's advance this a bit. Willing to bet it's Canada corner. Simkowski tearing around, goes through kink. Here comes the 99 headed into Canada. And he's overcooked it. There goes the 99 right into the wall. So that's going to be the end of stage number 2. David Hawk leading this race. Fans, were still ad-free for the next 4 minutes, 50 seconds. So we won't throw up a 60-second break. We'll do that next chance we get. Let's have another word with the 21 of David Hawk. See how he enjoyed that stage. David Hawk, Rick James in the booth once again. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Stage 2 winner, sir. How did you... Now, I don't want to say you lucked into that one. You had to be there at the right time, but your mistake-free racing elevated you to that position. It seems like Jeremy Brio lost his nerve coming out of 3. Cody Pennell slammed him, couldn't avoid him. You were there, right place, right time, and here you are leading the race.
Yeah, I was right behind him when all that was going down, and it's hard to pass here, man. You've got to get a good exit speed. Heavy braking into the corners, but I'm really hesitant on that. I made a little mistake earlier going for the lead, but I'm glad I can get a stage 2 win.
We're going to have about 13 laps to go when we restart this race. Do you have the car to stay ahead for 13 laps? And it's not just 13 laps. Mind you, it is a 4-mile track. That's roughly 52 miles.
I think we do. We were sitting behind them in that entire stage in 3rd place, 4th place. I just couldn't get around them. I need heavy braking. I need to adjust some brake bias here in a little bit.
Now they...
Cool with that, so we'll see if I can get some good braking into the corners and make some passes.
How important are tires going to be? At what point do you stop caring about tires in lieu of track position?
I'm going to race my race, and tires should be all right. Car frees up a little bit, but it's raceable. Gotta watch that fuel gauge. As long as my fuel pressure's above 0, we're good.
Best of luck, Davey. Hopefully we talk to you in victory lane at the end of the show.
Heck yeah, man. Thank you.
Davey Jones coming down pit road, and just about everybody's coming down pit road for tires and for fuel. Trey Kirk trying to get one of those laps back. Pace car leading him around. Jeremy Brio sitting 3rd. Everybody making their adjustments. Fans, if you've recently joined us, I'm Rick James bringing you uninterrupted green flag coverage of this 5th round of Monday Night Lightning from the virtual Road America course in virtual Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. 31 laps, our scheduled distance tonight. Stages ending at 8:16, and that 31st lap, drivers able to go for about 12 laps on a full tank of fuel, so they will need to come in for fuel if this 3rd stage goes green all the way. That front straight, the longest straight in all of NASCAR, although it may not look it, with major elevation change at this world-famous circuit. We're glad Monday Night Lightning could be here. We're glad you could experience this with Monday Night Lightning. Thank you so very, very much. Trey Kirk getting up to speed and trying to get back to, or Jeremy Brio, excuse me. Trey Kirk is behind the pace car here. Jeremy Brio getting back up to speed. Trey Kirk will pull away and come down for his tires and fuel most of the field, if not all of the field, except for the 24 of Trey Kirk coming down that time for tires and fuel. John Honeybrink also absent on pit road that time. He'll be getting one of his laps back. Brooklyn's Nick Pressey now sitting in the third position. He's up 9 spots since the drop of the green flag. Al Simkowski behind him in the 99, only up 2 spots since the drop of the green flag, but he has been the name that's on everyone's lips tonight. Simkowski, more familiar with the IndyCar world, bringing his open wheel skills to the next gen stock cars at Road America. Simkowski hoping to score that top 5. Al Simkowski comes into this race 11th in points. He only finds himself a measly 30 points away from the top 5. Trey Kirk is the driver currently sitting in 5th with 123 points. Jeremy Brio sitting in the 6th position, leading the points championship right now by 53 markers. And it's actually quite impressive. The gap between 1st and 2nd in the points is greater than the gap between 2nd to 15th. 2nd to 15th is a 50-point gap. The gap between 1st to 2nd is 53 points. Jeremy Brio with 3 wins in 5 starts so far. Hopefully he'll make it a 4th win today in 5 starts, but he'll be starting stage number 3 from the 6th position, and a lot of work to do for the number 74. Cody Pennell now in front of this race. David Hawk behind him. It looks like Pennell went for strategy. Waiting for the lights to turn off on that pace car before we go green. The 24 of Trey Kirk will get his wave around. And it looks like we're going to restart this race with a dozen laps remaining. Fans at home, the pre-rolls are back on, so we're going to take a 60-second break to keep those pesky pre-rolls off. And we'll be back for the start of the final stage, stage 3, with 12 laps to go, about to kick off. We'll be back in 60. It'll be a dozen laps to go when we restart this race. Nick Pressey sitting in that 3rd position. The Brooklyn driver coming into this race 6th in points. Let's have a quick word with Nick and see how he fancies his chances in this final stage. Nick Pressey, Rick James in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Nick, you're sitting 3rd, coming to 12 laps to go, my friend. Is this a car that will finish in the podium today?
I don't a lot of good competition out there today. If I can keep it on the track, I've been having a particular problems with the one corner. Hopefully, if I fix that, I can see it happening. But, I've also got a lot of people around me that are ready and willing to take that away from me.
12 laps between you and greatness, Nick, and the most important thing we could ask you this evening, what is your favorite gas station beverage?
Gas station beverage. Well, I've only gotten a beverage from one gas station. It was a convenience store, so I'll have to say in Arizona.
That counts for me, my friend. Best of luck. Enjoy the next 12 laps of racing.
Thank you.
Nick Bressy from Brooklyn in the great city of New York, sitting third, or I should say sharing the second row with Al Simkowski in car 99. The points leader, Jeremy Brio, in row number 3 right now. He'll be starting to the outside of Thomas Sears as they barrel into turn number 1. Drivers getting anxious now. A dozen laps remain in this race. Pinnell and Hawk locking out row number 1 with their Mustangs, accelerating up the hill. Great jump for Cody Pinnell. Green flag for stage number 3. Here comes David Hawk mounting a charge, trying to get the spot. Big lockup from a few drivers in there, including that 21 of Hawk. Simkowski goes incredibly wide out of 5. Big trouble for the 99. Honeybrink going incredibly high, crossing the track in front of traffic. Dangerous move by the number 20 car. There he goes, the 14 goes around. That's Donald Ray who's gone around out of 5. No flag. We're still moving. Dustin Painter also goes for a spill out of turn number 6 right after Corvette Bridge. And the North Carolinian sitting in 9th, well at the back of this field, and he's got a long way to go to get back into any sort of contention. Cody Pinnell, David Hawk, Jeremy Brio, your top 3 coming to 11 laps to go. Caution number 4 is out this time. It looks like Dustin Painter still struggling to get moving, so they're going to race it back to the line once again. And another 3 laps will take down under yellow. And it looks like drivers already slowing down, ready to catch that caution flag. So the drivers ready to get this one going here. Fans at home will take another short little break, get a word with race control, find out what caused this caution, and we'll be back for more racing at Road America. Pits will be open this time around. Tom Sears in the number 19 car following the 74 of Jeremy Brio under caution. Let's get word with the Southern Massachusetts driver and see how he sees his race shaping up in these final 9 laps. Tom Sears, Rick James in the booth. You got me? Tom Sears, Rick James in the booth. You got it? Tom Sears, Rick James in the booth. You got a copy? Tom, good to hear from you, my friend. Now, these last 9 laps are going to be something special. Your car, is it one that's going to fight for a podium spot?
Yes, this is a repaired car. It is at 100%. I had some troubles there in the beginning, but it actually gave me some alone time on the track, I guess, with the given conditions, temperatures, and whatnot. So I really got to know my car a little better and feeling confident. Hopefully, can score top 5 here.
Cody Pennell, David Hogg, Jeremy Brio are the 3 cars ahead of you. Is it possible to get around them? You come into this race 10th in points, some 95 points behind Jeremy Brio. Obviously, we're not going for the lead in this race, but you could gain a lot of points by sitting in the top 5. Is it a strategy where you would go for one more position, or would you be content finishing where you are now?
I mean, I've had some decent runs, but some disappointing results, which is, it's just part of racing in all shapes and forms. So, just really trying to get a top 5 here and have a good result for a good run.
Hopefully you get that good result, but then one more thing everybody else is dying to know here, my friend. What is your favorite gas station beverage?
Birds aren't real. I swear to you, they're not real. They're drones. They charge on the power lines. Yeah.
Well, all right. I you know what? Okay, enjoy the rest of the show.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Did not know he was coming for that one. Vols fan 88 coming through with a raid. Didn't see that one. Look at this, raiding with a party of 9. Thank you, everybody, coming through from that recent raid. Welcome to round number 5 of Monday Night Lightning inside the final 10 laps. Cody Pennell leading this one with David Hawk sitting in second. Tom Sears sharing the second row with Jeremy Brio. Not a lot of drivers electing to come down pit road, so we're going to have this restart here coming to the line with about 9 or 8 laps to go. Not entirely sure what's happening here. Lights are out on the pace car, so we will be restarting with 9 solitary laps to go. Fireball Woody. Rick James. Ellie's in here as well. Ellie, glad to have you here in this chat. Glad you could all join us for the final 9 laps of Monday Night Lightning from Virtual Road America. 2 Fords locking out row number 1. You've got 3 Fords sitting in the top 5 with Brooklyn's Nick Pressey up 5 spots since the drop of that green flag. Vols fan says the GOAT. Thank you, Vols. Glad to have you here, pal. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much for bringing your friends through. And fans, you will not be disappointed. You've got a chance to get another beverage, a chance to get a nice, tasty snack, something to hold on to, because these next 9 laps are going to be insane. Cody Pennell in the 28 car going for his 2nd win this season. Jeremy Brio in the 74 leading the points by 63 digits coming into round number 5. Someone has got to stop him. Cody Pennell and David Hawk each tied for 3rd with 125 points. They're only 55 points behind Jeremy Brio. This could be a lucrative points day for these two if they play their cards right. Coming out of turn number 14, getting ready to accelerate up this hill for what we hope will be the final time. Ford lock out of row 1. They put the gas down and we're racing again at Road America. Hawk holding steadfast to the outside. Pinnell dives down to the inside, leading in that 28. Brio now looking to the inside of Hawk. Keep your eye on these drivers. Will they all survive through 3? Simkowski now to the inside of Sears for position. And there's Pinnell loose out of the corner. Brio gets around Pinnell for the lead. Down Sargento. Down Moraine sweep. Cody Pinnell gets shuffled back to 3rd after a terrible exit out of turn number 3. Down Moraine sweep into 5 and 6. Brio, new leader at Road America. 74, 21, 28, your top 3, a couple of cars struggling to get grip out of 5. Up the hill through Corvette Bridge into 6. Pressy kicking up plumes of smoke in the number 94 Ford. Al Simkowski behind him in the Auto Nation Mustang, trying to take 5th away from the Brooklyn, New York native. Pinnell back to 3rd into that 28. Dan Maddox with more trouble. He goes off the track, crossing right in front of Steve Downton. Simkowski having trouble as well as Dan Maddox continues to go off the racetrack. The Mountain Dew Camaro in huge trouble. Brio going for his 4th win in 5 starts this season. Now leading David Hawk by 0.6. They fly through Kettle Bottoms into Canada. Into Canada, Brio leading. Here comes Pinnell with a big lockup into Canada corner. Sears behind him in the 19. Simkowski makes it through Trey Kirk, having an incident, and it looks like that's going to be it for Trey Kirk, and that's going to do it. Stephen Downton locking it up, and the caution comes out again this time. It looks like John Honeybrink has had an accident. And another yellow flag that's going to take these laps down 1 by 1. And we'll see if we can work this back. Let's see what incident happened. John Honeybrink having a big crash here. Let's run this one back. Oh, there's the 14 going around. Gets nailed by Honeybrink in the 20 car. 2 cars coming together, causing an accident. And now 8 laps to go as the drivers are under the influence of the pace car one more time. So we're going to restart here with about 6 laps to go. Fans at home are still ad-free for the next 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Nothing to worry about here. We won't need to worry about any pesky ads. Pre-roll ads, at least. Brio back in the lead. Al Simkowski in the 5th position, sporting the Auto Nation colors. Let's see if we can have a word with the St. Louis native, see how he's running his race so far. And no Al Simkowski there. Dustin Painter in the 7th spot. Stephen Downton in the 54, sitting 2 laps down. He's been plagued with troubles this evening. Nick Pressy going off the track under caution, possibly a lack of focus from the Brooklyn pilot. Hopefully no extra damage to his race car. Drivers should be good on fuel. They should be good on tires all the way to the end of this race. But they keep on crashing, and it keeps on sending these laps further and further down under yellow. There's Stephen Downton getting one of his laps back, so he'll only be 1 lap down when we restart this race with approximately 6 laps to go. Jeremy Brio going for 4 wins in 5 starts. David Hawk sits in 2nd. Cody Pinnell rolling in 3rd. Tom Sears picking a spot off, hoping to get that top 5 when the checkered flag flies. Al Simkowski, Rick James in the booth. You got me, buddy?
Gotcha.
Al, you are in the 5th position right now. Lots of silly mistakes, lots of cautions from cars seemingly just going off the racetrack here. Hopefully, we don't see another yellow flag before this one is over. Do you have the car to get a podium position today?
I'm trying. I've had a few bad mistakes of my own, put it off track too, so it seems like everyone's kind of having that issue. I know for me personally, it's just can't get a rhythm with all these cautions and everything. You start getting into a rhythm, and then we get the yellow again. So hopefully here we stay green to the end and find a rhythm and work my way up, try to at least get a podium.
Seemingly some of these cautions coming out with cars just coming together at the back, not affecting other traffic, so anything at this point could bring out a yellow flag, hopefully not extending this run any longer than it has to. As you said, it is very much rhythm focused. Who's going to be the toughest drivers to beat?
I think these two in front of me here, Cody and Jeremy, have both been pretty quick. I know Davey's fast too, so and everybody up here is pretty decent on the road courses, so I think that we're going to see you just need to stay clean. If somebody messes up, goes out track a little bit, that'll be your race.
Jeremy Brio and David Hawk sharing this front row here coming into this race. Al, you sit yourself 11th in points. It's going to be a good points day regardless. Do you take a risk for extra points, or are you content with the top 5 as it is?
Yeah, this season's kind of been bad. I think if you look, I've pretty much either not finished or I've been laps down with stupid mistakes at Sonoma and everything. So try to recover a little bit, try to maybe see if I can get into the top 5 in points, but I need it to start this week here, and we'll see what happens.
One more important question, Al. What is your favorite gas station beverage?
Honestly, coffee.
Coffee's a good one. Do you have a specific flavor? Do you like decaf? Do you just like regular black coffee?
Just regular black coffee usually.
Regular black coffee never ceases to amaze me. All right, Al. Good luck with the rest of the show. Hopefully we see you in victory lane.
All right, man.
Best of luck to the pilot of the number 99. Getting ready to go racing. Let's actually move him properly. Get him taken care of. There he is. Best of luck to number 99, Al Simkowski, starting 5th. Lights are out on the pace car. Hopefully we don't have to waste any more of your wonderful fans' time watching these cars parade under yellow. David Hawk and Jeremy Brio about to get this race kicked off one more time, restarting with 6 laps to go out of 14. Up the hill, Hawk and Brio leading this field. Lots of points on the line. Still another, 24 miles of racing to go. Green flag is out and we're racing at Road America once again. Three wide headed into the first corner. Here comes Cody Pennell going in just a bit too vigorously. Simkowski gets trapped with the 28 of Pennell, and David Hawk goes with him as well, trapped back in the 6th position. Brio leading, Pressy behind him now in 2nd. Tom Sears moves into 3rd. Let's run this one back and see exactly what happened with the 28 of Cody Pennell. Looks like he cooked it just a little bit too hard into turn number 1. Let's run this one back. .28 of Pennell. Oh, he gets a bump from the 99 of Simkowski. Hawk with nowhere to go. Those 3 drivers being sent well off track. Jeremy Brio now with a sensational 2.2 second lead over Brooklyn's Nick Pressy. But now it's Tom Sears sitting in the 3rd position. Chevy, Ford, Toyota with 5.5 laps to go. Arkansas, Donald Ray now in the 4th position, his highest spot tonight. David Hawk now getting to the inside of John Honeybrink. That's not 4th position. Hawk calmly in the 5th spot. Cody Pennell in 6th. And then St. Louis's Al Simkowski in the 7th spot, chasing down Cody Pennell. Dan Maddox, who's crashed twice under caution today, sitting in 8th. Dustin Painter going well off the track for a scenic ride in the 9th position. Stephen Downton rounding out the top 10. John Honeybrink, the last car running 4 laps down in 11th. Back to the front, there's Jeremy Brio. He's going for his 4th win in 5 starts this season out of turn number 14. Nick Pressey in the 2nd position. He's moved up 10 spots since the drop of the green flag, up 10 positions since the race started. A great run so far for the Brooklyn native. Tom Sears, who came into this race 11th in points, currently running in the bronze medal position in the TRD Camry. Just 0.6 of a second behind Nick Pressey. Let's take a look at the exit that Sears gets out of 3. Will he run him down out of Moraine into 4? A calm entry now behind that 74 of Brio. The gap now only sits at 1 second between Nick Pressey and Jeremy Brio. Perhaps the 74 saving a bit of his stuff, trying to just play the role of the hare, trying to get the 94 of Pressey to squeeze a little bit harder now. There's Sears in 3rd. There's Hawk in 4th, with Donald Ray slowly creeping up that rear view mirror. 0.6 of a second between these pilots as they head towards Carousel. John Honeybrink going off the racetrack once again, and there is the 20. Just not a good day for Honeybrink. He's still running in 11th, 4 laps down, and a brave effort nonetheless, but it's been wall after wall for Honeybrink, trying to regain control of that car. Dustin Painter recently goes around there out of Canada by himself, and he's about to go a lap down. There goes the leader, Brio, in the 74, and Painter doing the noble thing, removing himself from that situation. Good for him. Honeybrink back under his own power. Brio out of the final corner, 4 laps to go. Tom Sears now in 2nd. He manages to get around Nick Pressey. Let's take a look at that pass. Look at that, Pressey just braking and not hitting the brakes, just the car just braking out of line, taking no effort for Sears to get around him. Stephen Downton going off racetrack as well. Al Simkowski now moves into the 6th position. Here he goes on Pinnell, now well on the outside, and Simkowski does a number on himself. Simkowski straight into the barrier. 1 car incident there for Simkowski. You saw he just overcooked it on the 28 of Pinnell. Let's have one more look. And the 99 just coming in way too hot. Let's have a look from the inside of car 99. Bam! And just losing focus for car 99. There he is back under his own power, headed into turn number 4. There's Brio now into hurry downs, headed through Carousel. Tom Sears having a big mistake as well. Let's take a look and see what happened with the 19 as he went off track. Look at that, just too much power out of 3, headed towards the tire barrier, and he manages to save it in a big way. 94 gets around him, and the 21 of David Hawk now overtaking Thomas Sears for the bronze medal position. Hawk finds himself 7 seconds behind Nick Pressey, who's chasing down Brio. But coming to 3 laps to go, Jeremy Brio leading by 4.8 seconds as Nick Pressey himself having a moment, falling off the racetrack. Just so many mistakes committed by these drivers far too often. These cars seeming to be a handful for these racers. 12 miles to go in this race. David Hawk holding on to third after getting around Tom Sears. There's Cody Pennell going for his second win this season, now looking unlikely as there are 12 miles remaining in this race. Maddox going off the racetrack and then getting into the 99 of Simkowski. Both of these drivers getting into it out of that final corner, and it looks like Simkowski having an incident there. Honeybrink also getting into it. There's Simkowski in the 99, just with a big error there, and there's the 10 with nowhere to go, making another error into the 99 of Simkowski. Both of those drivers with big issues there. Simkowski a lap down, getting his car. There's, sorry, I'm mixing up Stephen Downton and Al Simkowski. Big plume of smoke up here. Al Simkowski in pit road, not sure if he's out or just receiving repairs. Dan Maddox in the 7th position. That's the car that's smoking here. He's crossing the line with 3 to go. Jeremy Brio will be coming to 2 laps to go, this time by with a 7-second lead on Nick Pressey. David Hawk chasing him down, the gap only 2 seconds between them. John Honeybrink going off the racetrack again. Just been a terrible evening for the driver of the 20 car. You can see smoke coming off of that U.S. Navy Camry. Big issues once again for Honeybrink. Pressey losing immense time to David Hawk. Hawk 1.4 seconds and counting. Now chasing him down through Kink. Once again, thank you to Vols fan for writing with that party. We appreciate you fans that have stuck around. Thank you so very, very much for this 5th round of Monday Night Lightning. I hope you're enjoying the show. 8 miles to go. Al Simkowski leaving pit lane with a freshly repaired car, hoping to set a fast lap. David Hawk 1.2 seconds now behind Nick Pressey, and it'll have to be mistake-free for the driver of the 21 if he wants to take Pressey for second. Pressey blinking up the front straight. Hopefully, internet connection issues don't plague the Brooklyn pilot. And Pressey, oh, I thought he was done, and Pressey, you almost saw it just evaporated from that race with internet connection issues. Fewer than 8 miles to go, and you hope that the internet holds for this driver. There's Hawk now inside, 1.2 seconds out of 3. He'll have a great shot headed into Moraine Sweep. Still too far now. Jeremy Brio leading diligently by 6.8 seconds. It's his race to lose at this point. Pressey locking it up out of Moraine Sweep, headed to Corvette. Seven and 8 for the 6 and 7 for the penultimate time, excuse me. Now headed towards the Hurry Downs straight that leads into Carousel. David Hawk just 0.4 of a second behind the 94 of Pressey. Honeybrink with more trouble. Once again, John Honeybrink going way too hard, crashing the car again right ahead of the leader, Jeremy Brio, and Honeybrink is done for the day. He's decided to hang it up in pit road. Crash after crash, and Honeybrink throws in the towel with 2 laps to go. Unless he's just towing the car and waiting for the race to end. He is still being scored as running. Brio advancing up the penultimate corners for turn number 14, and then the white flag will be out this time by Brio with another 4 miles to go. David Hawk with another 4 miles to take second place from Nick Pressey. Donald Ray recently falling off the track before Canada Corner. He holds on to the 6th position. Cody Pennell 13 seconds up ahead from 6th place. 3 seconds in front of Cody is Tom Sears, catching that white flag 4 more miles for him. David Hawk now must put in a concentrated effort to chase down the 94 of Pressey. Headed into 3 for the final time. Brio's gone off. Brio's gone off. The leader's gone off on the last lap. Can you believe it? Jeremy Brio goes off. Take a look. There's the 74 giving it too much gas. The leader, Jeremy Brio, goes off on the final lap. He's in 4th. Nick Pressey now to the front of this race after the leader makes a fatal mistake on the final lap. Hawk now to the inside through Corvette for the lead on the final lap. David Hawk, new leader with 2 miles to go. Jeremy Brio falling off the racetrack in turn number 3. A 7-second lead for the 74 of Brio, dashed after he falls off the racetrack of his own doing. Now chasing down Nick Pressey for the 2nd position. Gets around him in carousel. Tom Sears now 1 second behind Pressey, who's slow out of carousel. Will Pressey lose all of it and fall down to 4th? David Hawk 1.1 seconds ahead of Brio, and it's not over yet. They still have another mile to travel through Elkhart Lake. Kettle Bottoms, Canada awaits. You must be smooth. You must be precise. Brio locking it up into Canada. He goes off track. The 74's binned it again. Twice on the final lap. He'll fall out of the top 3. Cody Pennell now chasing him down for the spot. Here comes Pennell coming through Thunder Valley. Now there's David Hawk out of 14 for the final time. Fortune smiles upon the Nashville driver. He comes up to the village of Elkhart Lake, and he will win round number 5 at Road America. There's Tom Sears for 3rd. Jeremy Brio will hold on for 4th. Cody Pennell, a very close 5th place. And what a last lap. Mistake after mistake, and it doesn't stop all the way to the end. We said it was Brio's race to lose with a 7-second lead, and a last lap mistake causes David Brio to lose that race. Jeremy Brio to lose that race. David Hawk gets the win on the final lap, and he holds on for his first Monday Night Lightning victory. Fans at home, stay tuned. We're going to have top 3 interviews in just a moment. David Hawk, Nick Pressey, Thomas Sears finishing 1, 2, 3 at the 4-mile Road America. And what a race it was. Unbelievable way to end that one, and you can bet he is grinning from ear to ear. His first win this season, and he is going to soar in the standings. Fans at home, don't go anywhere. We're going to get David Hawk, Nick Pressey, and Tom Sears into the booth for podium interviews. What a finish at Road America. Your winner in the number 21 Haviland Ford Mustang, David Hawk. Back on the podium, and what a finish we had to the 5th round of Monday Night Lightning. Let's start with our bronze medalist, Thomas Sears, in the number 19 TRD Camry. Tom Sears, did you have any idea you had a podium, a car with podium potential when you started this race?
I'm having some poor results lately, so I felt the need of a lot more practice. So I've been testing and practicing a lot here for this track, and I'm just happy to see that my efforts have produced a top 5. Things got pretty wild out there. Uh, it was anyone's race on those last couple laps, so I'm just happy to come out of there with a top 5.
Not only did you come out with a top 5, you came out with a top 3, and you're going to move up in the standings from your 10th place position. Congratulations on the bronze medal.
Yep, and thank you for the stream, and congratulations to Davy Jones, the Pirate, on his first one.
Nick Pressey getting the 2nd place finish. Nick, you inherited the lead briefly when the 74 of Brio fell off the track, and it was a tough fight with David Hauk for the lead, but you still managed to secure that 2nd place finish. Good run.
Yeah. Uh, I wasn't really sure what this car was gonna do going into the last lap. It's pretty badly beat up. Um, I had a lot of weak corners after that smack on the exit of 11. Um, when Riol went wide, I thought there was a chance, and I made a mistake in exit of 5, which allowed Davey to take the spot, and then I just gave Jeremy the spot because I know that he was really hungry, being the fastest car all day. When he went, but I knew he'd probably make another mistake during the last lap. He seemed to go off a lot, just like me. So it was just a matter of preventing my own mistakes and allowing others to make theirs. I know there are a lot of people who are probably unhappy with the way I drove them today, and for that I'm sorry. But um, hopefully in the coming races I'll be able to make that up to them.
Congratulations on that 2nd place finish, Nick. We'll see you next week at Atlanta. And now the winner, driver of that number 21 Texaco Haviland Ford Mustang with his first Monday Night Lightning win. David Hauk, you've got tonight's gold medal. Good run.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad to get this monkey off my back. First career league win here in Monday Night Lightning. I'm excited. Glad I came in that paint scheme and at a road course.
A bit of a lucky paint scheme at a road course indeed, and you now sit 2nd in points, gaining good points on the leader. Jeremy Brio headed next week into Atlanta. Will it be 2 for 2 for you, Davey?
I love Atlanta. It's going to be hot and slick, and I like that kind of racing, so hopefully we can do it.
It's going to be a wonderful time. We'll see you there in 7 days' time. Congratulations again on the gold, Dave.
Thank you, sir.
That's going to do it for us tonight. What an exciting finish to that Road America race. Another chapter in the Monday Night Lightning books. Check us out on racearcs.com for more information on Monday Night Lightning, Thursday Night Thunder, A Squared, and all the other modified and truck competitions that ARCS runs across the Xbox and iRacing platforms. A fantastic run for David Hauk today. Beautifully done for Nick Pressey and Tom Sears as well. Thank you to Fireball Woody, Ellie, Bama Trama, Volsfan, Yotes King, More Than a Cape, everybody that was here for the show. We appreciate you so very, very much. Give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, and right here on Twitch. Drop me a line. Let me know how you're doing. Love talking to the fans. Tomorrow night, we'll be showcasing the OG Modifieds from Martinsville Speedway. 3 races to go in the season, and you cannot miss that. Fans at home, take care of each other, stay safe, and we will see